We're supposed to be stopped.
Okay, you ready to go? They're talking about possibilities.
You kind of packed the house here for this
The big one.
Yeah, I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Board of Supervisors, Tuesday, September 24th, 2013. And I'd ask you all to rise and join me in honoring our flag with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we pray this day for your ever-enduring guidance. Cloak us in wisdom and fortitude that we may disperse our knowledge and facts intelligently among all humanity of whom we serve. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. The board did have a closed session this morning. I'd like to move on to item B1, announcement of items discussed in the closed session.
Members, we met in closed session on two existing matters of existing litigation. One is what's referred to as the Dyer Mountain case, and the second is the Stone case. The board provided direction to staff. There are no reportable actions.
Thank you very much. Right, moving on to item B2, agenda approval, additions and/or deletions. Board members? Staff? Chair to entertain a motion. Moved by Supervisor Pyle, seconded by Supervisor Alba to approve the agenda as published. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The chair votes aye. Any opposition? Carries unanimously. Moving on to item B3, public comment. This is an opportunity for those in the audience to address the public on matters which do not necessarily appear on our agenda. And obviously, we're very happy to take your comments, but we would also suggest to you that we cannot take action on any item brought to us under this item. If it's not on our agenda, we can't take action on it, but we're happy to hear your comments. I have one card requesting to speak, and that would be Ms. Eileen Spencer. Eileen?
Yes, and I'd just like this board to open your deliberations today, remembering the following: Lloyd Kiefer, Teresa Nagel, Steve Warren, Judge Lazard, Kathleen Lazard, Judge Bradbury, Judge Sokol, Chris Gallagher, Wayne Langston, Kurt Bonham, Luann Rainey, Mary Phelan, and Jack Hansen, to name a few.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to address the board under public comment? Violet, I saw your hand go up. We'd be happy to hear from you. The county's poet laureate, Violet Stout. It's an honor to introduce you.
I wrote this under, not an order, but a request from the CAO. Anyway, this is to everybody, and I would like to tell this board I want to report a theft in this boardroom. I've checked it out, and no one knows where the little tag went for Jack Hansen. And that is a federal theft.
It's not mine.
And
I didn't know until Susan told me.
I want to know where it went. I've asked different people, nobody knows, but I want to know where it went. And I think that's a public theft, and it is a government theft, and it should be looked into. Thank
We'll
you.
make sure that the sheriff and the DA take care of it.
There is
All
no
right.
government.
It's not me.
All right, here's the poem. It's called Another Day. Today is just another day, a bit of history. To some it will bring happiness, to some a memory. Electing a new board member, what change will it take place? It brings about more questioning and seeing a new face. There are coming trials on the books and wages to be paid. The more laws laid down by government, a tragedy inlaid. Not one new member, 3 or 4, can save what has been done. What we once called America has long been overrun. So be it we have made a change. Today is in the past. I wonder, as most others will, how long will this change last?
Thank you, Violet. Appreciate your friendship over the years, thank you. Anybody else in the audience wishing to address the board under the public comment portion of our deliberations here today? Seeing none, we're gonna go ahead and move on then to D1, unagendized reports by board members. Supervisor Chapman, can we start with you, sir?
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Alba?
Sure, the first minute after this meeting today, I'll be headed to Tahoe for the RCRC meeting. Also on Friday, I went up to Brian Dowley's, our Assemblyman, remember Brian Dowley's had a birthday party / fundraiser up there at the brass rail in Alturas, and just so we know that county council, she is more than council, she can also cut a pretty good rug.
Good music.
And, let's see, and also wanna, let's see, we're still working on, the ambulance up there in the north part of the county. They're still working on, putting a map together to get a map for possibly a community service district for the ambulance, so that's in the process.
There's still the meeting on the 14th.
There's still the meeting on the 14th, and I'll talk to you about that after the meeting. Other than that, that's it.
Okay. Supervisor Pyle?
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman.
And I have nothing as well, so we'll go ahead and move on, 9:55. Move on to F1, appointments. That'd be appointment of members to the new Lassen County Behavioral Health Advisory Board. Supervisor Chapman, I know this is your seat as well, so.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we're trying to recruit a new board, composite from the former mental health advisory board and the alcohol and drug advisory board. Shelley Baxter, she works at the college and is involved in programs that relate to this area. She's an excellent choice, so I would move that we would appoint Shelley Baxter to category 1 seat on the new behavioral health advisory board.
Is there a second to that motion? Moved by Supervisor Chapman and seconded by Supervisor Pyle to appoint Michelle Shelley Baxter to the Category 1 position on the Lassen County Behavioral Health Advisory Board. Under, it's been moved and seconded, so under questions or comments, Eileen?
Jack, I'd
Yeah.
ask that you recuse yourself from this vote because the voters spoke on September 10th, but I'd ask that you recuse yourself on this vote.
Thank you. Anybody else have any comments on this action? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the chair does vote aye on that matter. Any opposition? That matter carries unanimously. We move on to item G, our consent calendar. I've had a request from a member of the audience, Ms. Eileen Spencer, to pull item G1. So the chair, is there any other items to be pulled for separate consideration by staff or board members? Otherwise, the chair would entertain a motion on the remainder with the exception of G1.
Mr. Chairman, I would move.
Is there a second? Supervisor Chapman, I believe, got there. So moved by Supervisor Pyle, seconded by Supervisor Chapman to approve the remainder of the consent agenda. That would be with the exception of G1. Any further discussion? Ms. Spencer?
Jack, I'd like you to recuse yourself on
We're
this.
gonna get close to
Thank
the
you.
interruption. Thank you. I'll gavel you.
No, you can't. Try it.
Recess, 5 minutes. Sorry, everybody.
All right. Good.
You're gonna try me all day, aren't you?
Maybe she'll have backup, Jack.
Recess for 5 minutes. I'd like to speak to county council.
For today, we've got last week's minutes.
Hey, how are you? Good. How's things? Good, good, good. Very good. Hey guys, we got some seats there. Jump on in. Yeah, one of you here, and then there's a couple back there. If you want to sit together, you can go to the back. How you doing? Good, how are you doing? You too.
Are they not available?
Hey, how are you? How are you?
I'm taking up.
Next to me, trust me.
That wall.
Oh, no, man, that's
It's taken.
I'm being a smart aleck, and it's coming out all wrong today. Just give up smart aleck.
It's not working out, huh?
My timing's all on that.
Nice seeing you.
You will need a vacation.
No, you're fine.
See, that can be rust.
I know, right? Oh yeah, well, only one
Yes, motion in a second, and I believe you had a comment. We did not vote on it. Okay, thank you very much for your patience on that. We're going to go ahead and take a vote on the remaining part of the consent agenda with the exception of G1. We have a motion by Supervisor Pyle, seconded by Supervisor Chapman, to approve the remainder of the consent agenda, G2, 3, and 4. And so, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor signify by voting aye. And the chair votes aye. I had a meeting with County Council. I'd like County Council to clarify, if she would, the issue of the election that's been brought up a couple of times during the meeting.
Okay, just for everybody's, knowledge, Mr. Hanson is still an active elected supervisor, and he will be until the new supervisor is sworn in this afternoon. If you have authority to the opposite of that, I would love to see it, because the election code is very clear. And so I want to make sure everybody understands that. Mr. Hanson is still our chairman, and he is still a supervisor.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to G1. Take up item G1 for separate consideration. Is there anybody in the audience wish to speak on G1? Yes, you may.
I have a simple question. The personnel report lists losses, one in behavioral health, one in planning and building, and one in FCPS. I would like to know the reasons these people left.
The personnel issues, I'm going to turn it over to
No, you always-
Nichols from County Council.
Minutes will show that you've always stated why these people left. I think Mr. Chapman, I have minutes that Mr. Chapman asked, or disclosed why they left.
County council, they can read it what you want.
You wanted to clarify why people left, that it was because they moved, so it is open discussion and past precedent. If you want to,
I don't have a clue what Ms. Spencer's talking about, so.
okay.
Well, and with personnel issues, like everything, they are subject to confidentiality, and it is with discretion on who we release what information if they give us their consent.
Is there anybody else in the audience wishing to speak on G1? Hearing none, Chair would entertain a motion on G1. Moved by Supervisor Pyle, seconded by Supervisor Alba, to go ahead and approve, receive and file G1 personnel report. Is there any further discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Spencer?
The Brown Act allows discussion by the public prior to a vote.
I recognized you, Ms. Spencer.
I ask you to recuse yourself from the vote.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Chair votes aye. Any opposition? That one carries unanimously. We move on to item, these are matters set for time certain. We've got a 10 o'clock item, which is a recognition of Supervisor Hanson, and so I will excuse myself from this vote, but I'll remain in the room. You take the chair.
Proclamation. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, we'll move.
You know, if I could, I know it's not customary, Mr. Vice Chairman, and I know you're chairing this issue, but it's not customary that I get to speak first, but I'd like to if I could.
I would give you this.
I'd like to first thank all the constituents that have supported me over the years and those that I've had the pleasure of working with. There are really a lot of folks out there that are interested in helping their neighbors and their friends and the community as a whole. They're unselfish in that. I'd like to recognize my fellow board members, and Brian Dowley obviously as well. Worked a long time with Brian and all of you, and I've appreciated your support. Even though we've had our differences from time to time on issues, we've been able to come back in the boardroom and do the people's business, and I think that's admirable. And I consider each one of you a very good friend as well. I'd like to thank the employees. You know, there are a lot of them here today. It's been an honor, it's been a pleasure to work with all the employees here in Lassen County. They're good folks. They've always treated me with respect. I've just appreciate their friendship and the working relationship that we've had. I didn't include the department heads in that. They're kind of a different subject entirely.
You're welcome.
Every department head has responded as best they could to any request I've ever had, and I really want all of you to know, including county council and the CAO and so on, you know, what a pleasure it's been to work with all of you. Unfortunately, through this whole thing, I don't have to say goodbye. That's the good thing, because of course I'm not leaving town. But the department heads have just been great to work with, and each one of you is truly a wonderful public servant, and I appreciate that. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize some of the partners that I've had the opportunity to work with out in the community. The folks at CCC, iDesert, FCI Hurlong, Sierra Army Depot, Plymouth Sierra, El Mud, Honey Lake Power, Sierra Cascade, just to mention a few of the private folks, all the farmers and ranchers of the community. You know, hopefully I've done a fair job of representing their interests, but it's been an honor and a privilege to work with all of them, and I just want to recognize that. And then, of course, finally, this is where you get kind of choked up, but I'd like to recognize my family. Without their support, without their commitment, I couldn't have done the job at all. It took somebody at home to get things done. Our two sons have done a great job stepping up, and obviously Darcy has always been there with me through thick and thin, and she's been a great counsel and advisor, and I really appreciate it. So With that, I guess that's about it. Yeah,
Okay, you wanna go down here?
whatever you want, you're the boss, I'm not.
Okay, let's go down here as we do all this, and out of respect for the ag community, Mr. Hanson, I will wear my hat.
Thank you, Bob.
And also to stop flashbacks off my bald head. I've known Jack way longer than when he became a supervisor. I have the highest degree of respect for Jack and his family. And he's a good man, I love him.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay. Proclamation in honor of Jack Hansen for his service as Lassen County Supervisor, District 5. Whereas Jack Hansen assumed the duties of Lassen County Supervisor, District 5 on January 6, 2003, and served in that position until September 24, 2013. And whereas Jack Hansen served as Chairman of the Board of Supervisors during the years 2004, 2008, and 2013. Plus, he represented the board on numerous committees during his tenure, including the Mental Health Advisory Board, the Airport Land Use Commission, the Local Agency Formation Commission, the Transportation Commission, the Treasury Oversight Committee, the Law Library Board of Trustees, the Lassen Regional Solid Waste Management Authority, the Air Pollution Control District Governing Board, the Lassen Transit Service Agency, and PSA 2 Area Agency on Aging Executive Board. And whereas Jack Hansen served on the Lassen County Planning Commission from December 1989, November 1997, serving as chairman of or vice chairman for 6 of them years. During his tenure, he was a tireless advocate on water-related issues and was instrumental in defeating Lassen County's interest with Nevada-based projects like Fish Springs Ranch. And whereas Jack Hansen was a leader at the local, regional, and state level during his public service career. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of the County of Lassen that Jack Hansen be commended for his 10 years of service on the Lassen County Board of Supervisors, and that the Board of Supervisors wishes him well for many years to come. Thank you, Jack, for your service. Anybody have anything they want to say?
There are probably a few people.
What did they talk about?
I don't want to go first, my entire career at Lassen County has just been about the same amount of time Jack served on the board. And he took me under his wing early on and said, Maury, we got to fight Nevada. They're always trying to steal our water. And then a couple years later, when I think he trusted me a little more, I said, Maury, we got to fight California. They're always trying to steal our water. And we've worked on a variety of things over the years, water-related, land use-related, and all I can say is Jack is beyond reproach. He's an honest person. He's accessible, and we've had a relationship where I can always say what I think and give him advice, and whether he takes it or not, it's fine. But he always wanted to know what I thought about it, and I really appreciate that. And finally, I guess it's not a sad thing because I'll see him around the neighborhood. So
Stone's throw.
yeah, Willow Creek is better off, and I know tomorrow when you wake up, Darcy's going to be very relieved that you're going to be working on the ranch, not for your constituents, of which I think many people will thank you for your service. So.
Thank you, Mark. Very good.
Sorry, Jim.
Ladies first, Jim.
Ladies
They're better looking than you, too.
Hi, Jack. You are one of the 3 remaining seated board members that had the good sense to hire someone from the big city. As creative and different as I am, you believed in me. I remember my first interview with you almost 4 years ago, and what a tremendous presence you were on that dais with my knees shaking in the interview process. It has been an absolute joy to work with you. You are a rancher that has a mighty heart for social services. And yes, I did just put those pieces together. You are highly professional. We've worked on some pretty heavy cases through the years between the 2 departments that I'm honored to serve. And I just cannot thank you enough for what you've meant in my Lassen County journey as a department head. You're measured and balanced. I could always count on you for that approach right in the middle, and I really appreciated that. I agree with Maury that you're just so easy to talk to and bounce ideas off of. Thanks for believing in me. On behalf of the employees of my 2 departments, we thank you for your leadership and years we've had working with you. Blessings to your family. Be well.
Always appreciate our relationship.
Blessings.
Jack, on behalf of myself, I'd like to thank you for your help. Always been there to be able to talk to. You're well respected in this community and well respected with me. And I appreciate it on behalf of the staff at the fairgrounds. We appreciate all your help throughout the years. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
I get to carry the piece of wood up here.
You too. Lafco Fair Board, everything else. Friends forever. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff, for those kind words. And I'm only a stranger up there. Thank you.
So,
Thanks, Bob. Jack, you've been on our board of directors of the Solid Waste Authority since January 2003.
It was the one thing that was really a business, if you will. I mean, it was good.
And it's just been a great ride with you, Jack. We're really gonna miss you. The other speakers have had great words for you, and I wish I could match those. But it's just been a pleasure working with you. You did a great job. You were our chairman for